Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MotorMaster Monday main event of the evening. And folks, we've been talking about this one all week long. It is the 4th annual NASCAR Brickyard 200 here from the NASCAR MotorMaster Series. These Xfinity cars on the presets, and we are live. It's round 19 of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season, hosted right here on NASCAR Heat 5. And we're live, bringing you live flag-to-flag coverage of the 4th annual Brickyard 200 right here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Joining me in the booth, we have two in-race reporters for this event. We have the Giggity Racing League founder, Kevin Tattersall, driving the number 54 Toyota Supra. We also have the number 6 Chevy Camaro driver of Nick Dodd from Sesco, both in here with me. Thanks a bunch, both of you, for joining me.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're working stage one. These drivers do not need to come to pit road if the entire stage goes green, but of course we have seen one caution for an on-track incident before we began the broadcast. So these drivers have all had an opportunity to come down to pit road and put some adjustments into these preset cars, and now they're strapped and locked and loaded, ready to go for the rest of stage one if it stays green. They were good to go already before, but they got a head start on putting in the adjustments that they want to these cars. Matt Smith in the 10 is leading. Jordan Dorsett in the 74 runs in second, coming off a big win at Pocono. And Clashin in the 07 Chevy Camaro runs in third. Clashin, of course, finished second at Pocono. Side-by-side finish with Jordan Dorsett, separated by 9 one-thousandths of a second. One wild finish there at Pocono. If you didn't watch that event, definitely go back and watch it after this broadcast here. They're running second and third, trying to keep with the 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion Matt Smith in that black and lime green number 10 Chevy Camaro. The top three have separated themselves from the rest of the field just a little bit. Running in the 4th position, Dustin Franklin in the 11. Looking strong. And we have a change for the lead. As soon as I took my eyes off it, and we almost did anyways, one of those three cars found the outside wall. They all got held up a little bit. And now here comes Kevin Tattersall and Dustin Franklin in the 11 to challenge for the 3rd position. This allowed the entire second group of cars to gain a lot of ground on the front group. Nick Don from Sesco in the 6 is right there with him, as well as Trey Hollywood in that purple and orange number 8 Chevy Camaro that you see popping into the frame. He's running in 6th. He's looking for his first career NASCAR MotorMaster Series win. So is Dustin Franklin, running in 3rd. There's Cameron Norton. He's running inside the top 10 in 8th. Qualified 4th. Solid qualifying run for him. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 61, behind him running in 9th. Alex Tesdall in the 16, rounding out the top 10. He's being pursued by Jason Armstrong, Bradley Gilliland, Harold Burton, and others back there, 11th through 13th. Brett Baker, Jesse Carlson running 14th, 15th. They're all chasing Matt Smith. There's the battle for the lead. Top two have separated themselves from the rest of the field just a little bit. Dustin Franklin running in 3rd. And the draft is powerful here. We've been talking about it a lot before the broadcast began. Talked about it a lot during the week when these drivers were practicing and tuning these cars and making adjustments on pit road to see what they would want to do for this race. They knew the track position and the draft were going to be two critical factors in deciding who won the 4th annual Brickyard 200, and so far proving to be true. Qualifying near the front was Matt Smith in the 10, Jordan Dorsett in the 74. Matt Smith, of course, starting on the pole. They've run 1 and 2 for most of stage 1, and able to gap some of the rest of the field because of the track position that they've had all race long. Throwing it down to the in-race reporter Kevin Tattersall to find out how many laps here in stage 1.
4 to go in stage 1.
And they click off quick. How's the car feeling? You're up there in the 4th position.
It feels alright, a little snug in 1, but for the most part, the car's feeling pretty good.
Throwing it down to Nick Don from Sesco, driver of the number 6. Nick, you're in the top 10 as well, running the, the 7th position. How's your car feeling? Hopefully it comes to you in a good battle there with Trey Hollywood in the number 8 car, and it's good company to be with inside the top 10 as well, and all chasing Matt Smith in the 10. Coming around to, I believe, what is 3 laps to go. He's got Jordan Dorsett in the 74 right behind him. arguably the two favorites to win the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series Championship. Matt Smith in the 10, 3 wins this season. He is the points leader, looking to hold on for the regular season championship to clinch those 15 playoff points. And then Jordan Dorsek in the 74, 5 wins this season. Third in the point standings coming into tonight's 2 events. And right there on the back bumper of Matt Smith as they fly down the back straightaway. I was watching some of that. Good battle there for 6th and 7th between the 8 machine, Trey Hollywood and Nick Francesco in the 6 car. Know each other for a long time, have run in multiple leagues with each other. Nick's going to go to the inside, take the 6th position away. Trey back to 7th. Cameron Norton still running in 8th. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. still running in 9th. The laps are winding down here in stage 1. 3 to go if I'm not mistaken. And Matt Smith all over the back bumper of the 74. Just a car length between them. That's coming out of 2 now, down the back straightaway again. He might even have lifted a little bit to maybe get some distance between them, to try to get a run down the back straightaway. If so, he couldn't quite do it. Now this is going into turn 3. Kind of looked like Matt missed the entrance to the turn a little bit. Had to chase the car up the track just a tiny bit. Still right there in the draft with Jordan in the 74. Throwing it down to Kevin Tattersall, the driver of the 54. Is this the white flag or 2 to go?
Yeah, white flag.
Perfect. I'm glad I asked because I'm famous for that. I will lose laps here just from getting suckered into the action. White flag is in the air. Stage 1. About to be in the history books here for the 4th annual Brickyard 200. We've seen 1 caution for an on-track incident. There's a couple of cars just in front of these 2 leaders that are in danger of going a lap down before the end of stage 1. It's actually just 1 car, but I don't think they're going to get to him in time. Jordan Dorsek doing everything he can to break the draft with Matt Smith, and Matt's going to try to get the inside line going into 3, I was going to say, but he couldn't quite get the car down there. Jordan did a good job driving it in deep and also keeping it on the bottom. Now going into turn 4 and coming out of 4, Matt Smith has the run. Where's the lap car going to go? The 10's trying to use the draft with them. They're going to split them coming to the line. The stage win is going to go. Oh, that was close. Oh, I think it's going to be Matt Smith in the 10. And they put a lap on Ryan Schreck. He'll be the first car 1 lap down at the end of stage 1. Throwing it down to the M-Race reporter Kevin Tattersall to find out the top 5 from stage 1. Most importantly, who won stage 1.
Flash 9, J-Well, K-Teddy, Dust Bunny, JCR Clash.
All right, so it did go to the 2020 Platinum Cup champ, Matt Smith in the 10. Great job by him. Pick up the stage win. Kevin Tattersall in 3rd. Dustin Franklin's going to get 4th there. Great job by him to get the 2 points. And I noticed good speed out of the 11 car. Out of all the drivers here tonight that are looking for their first career NASCAR MotorMaster Series win, I'm fairly certain that it's Dustin Franklin in that 11 car that has the best car and the best shot of doing it. Keep your eye as well on Clashin in the 07 and Trey Hollywood in that purple and orange car in the 8 car. They're looking for their first career wins as well.
39 did not hit.
Oh, geez, and I don't know if that was intentional or not. I don't believe so, and that's the 2nd time tonight he's done that, but 2 different races. Harold's going to pull over and let the field go. The green flag is in the air for stage 2. The field safely works their way by. This track is very large, 2.5 miles, and so he might stay on the lead lap if he brings it to pit road this next time by, since he's right with the whole field still, and therefore not too far behind the leader. Going down the back straightaway now, Matt Smith, your leader in the 10. Jordan Dorsek right behind him in hot pursuit in 2nd in the 74. Red and white Toyota Supra of Kevin Tattersall running in 3rd. Nick Francesco in the 6th, running in 4th. Trey Hollywood up into 5th. That's the highest he's run all race long. Highest running driver with no wins in 2021 is that 6 car of Nick Francesco. He's found victory lane in this series before. In fact, he's one of the 8 drivers to hold the Triple Crown Award, having wins in the Platinum Cup Series, MotorMaster Series, and the Tailgate Truck Series, and he's right there with the top 4 drivers. Top 5 separated themselves from the rest of the field just a little bit. Matt Smith still leads. Jordan in second, Kevin in third. Trey Hollywood has now sneaked through on the inside line to take the 4th position away from Nick Don Francesco. A little bit deeper in the field, the second group of cars being led by Clashin in the 07 Chevy Camaro. He's got a little bit of breathing room now, but at first he was still right in the middle of this hornet's nest. It looked like Jesse Carlson gave the bumper to his teammate Jeffrey Robinson Jr. Up the hill went Jeffrey in that black and blue number 61 Toyota Supra. He kept it out of the wall, I believe, but he lost a number of positions. He's now battling with Cameron Norton. Jeffrey, a former NASCAR champion on the NASCAR 15 Victory Edition game. Very skilled sim racer, and it'll be only just a matter of time before he finds victory lane. Also only a matter of time before he gets those positions back that he just lost. Clashin running in the 6th position with Dustin Franklin in the 11 just behind him. It actually looks like Clashin found the outside wall coming out of turn 2. And that really burned his momentum for the back straightaway. He loses 2 positions in the process. Dustin Franklin goes to 6th. Jesse Carlson in that lime green and orange Toyota Supra now runs in 7th. All still trying to run down the top 5 group, which have kind of broken away from the rest of the field, as I have mentioned. Jason Doro runs in the 9th position, trying to gain ground on the second group of cars, which is now down to a 3-horse dance. Back up front. That's what the battle for the lead looks like. Haven't checked in just a couple of laps here, but it's really changed. Kevin Tattersall found the outside wall a little bit there. I think he had help in the process. They're still chasing the 10 car, Matt Smith. Jordan Dorosek in the 74 trying to break the draft with the cars behind him, and he's sacrificing any draft that he might have been able to get from the leader in the process. Because, of course, as you saw, the leader of the 10 car did not do any moves like that. He stayed all the way up, glued to the outside wall. No draft from the leader being utilized by the 74 of Jordan Dorosek, driving more in the mirror at this point. Doing it again on the front straightaway, and the snake effect, we're seeing it. Drivers follow the lead car, and then the lead car usually goes back up towards the outside wall, and it just kind of looks like a snake slithering through the grass, and that's kind of what the snake effect means. And Don Francesco still scored in 3rd, trying to stay with the back bumper of the 74. The draft is a critical factor in this one. Track position will be key for the final stage. These drivers trying to get the best track position that they can for when we line them up double file for the final stage. We've only seen 1 caution for an on-track incident here in the 4th annual Brickyard 200. So if we keep seeing that type of race, then these drivers definitely want the best track position that they can have for the beginning of the final stage, especially if we're going green to the end. Only 1 car off the racetrack. 23 drivers started this race. Ryan Schreck in the 19, done for the day, it appears. And he's parked motionless on pit road. Going through the field just a little bit. Here we find... And getting a report from one of our in-race reporters, Nick Don Francesco. Thanks a bunch, brother. And Matt Smith in the 10, the 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion, found the outside wall in turns 1 and 2 over there, and that allowed Nick Don Francesco and Jordan Dorosek to pounce for the race lead. The 74 now leads this race. Nick right there, he's on the inside. Matt Smith was able to fly through turn 4 pretty fast there on the outside and retake the 2nd position. Kevin Tattersall in the 54 runs in 4th. He was able to make the pass on Trey Hollywood about 2 laps ago, and he's closing in on the top 3. So now it's Jordan in the 74, Matt in the 10, Nick in the 6, Kevin in the 54, and Trey in the 8. Your top 5 looking for the stage points at the end of stage 2. Throwing it down to the in-race report, Kevin Tattersall. How many laps to go in stage 2?
I think 6. 7 and 12. Yeah, I think 6.
Yes, sir. On lap 7. So, yeah, 6 laps to go, 5.5 as you guys work down the back straightaway. Jordan doing a terrific job as the race leader, no longer trying to do the snake effect and break the draft with these drivers. I think that he realizes they're within a car length and they're there no matter what he does, and it's going to be all about using the mirror and keeping the 10 car, the 6 car, the 54 behind you and getting this stage win. going through the field just a little bit before we came back up to the battle for the lead. Here we find Timmy Brown in the number 9 Chevy Camaro, 2018 Brickyard 200 winner. He was very excited for this race. He's inside the top 10. He started back in the 16th position out of the 23 cars, so he was a little bit worried, but he has worked his way all the way up into 9th, and he's running strong. Can it be the day, folks, where Timmy Brown gets his first NASCAR MotorMaster Series win since his huge Brickyard 200 win in 2018? We'll find out here in about, well, we have about 5 laps rather, to go in stage 2, and then we're going to line them up and send them off for a final stage where they will need to make green flag pit stops if they go the entire distance. Could be Timmy Brown's day. And we have a caution on the racetrack. I didn't see what happened, but this changes everything because they're only going to have a couple of laps left at the end of stage 2 for this restart. Looking around here, and I don't really see anybody. And Dave Marks Jr. has quite a bit of damage to the rear end of the 51 Chevy Camaro, but there's no other cars near him, so I don't know what exactly brought out this caution, but it might have been Dave in the 51. Second caution of the race for an on-track incident, and this really makes things interesting, folks, because if you pit now, there's only going to be 2 laps to go when we restart in stage 2, and then you might not necessarily need to pit again at the end of stage 2, and you might be able to restart at the front of the field. Because everyone's going to have to pit once in the final stage regardless, so this might shake things up. It opens the door for more strategy, and the green flag is in the air. Sorry, Kevin, how many?
This is the last lap.
Oh, geez, so it's a 1-lap dash for the stage 2 win. This is for it all here for the stage 2 win. Half a lap to go. It looked like Jordan in the 74 found the outside wall coming out of turn 2. Nick Don Francesco is going to try to capitalize in the 6. Got Kevin Tattersall looking low. Nick's going to shut the door. Kevin did the wise thing, the veteran move, and lifted there. There was no place to go. Nick's going to hold on through 3 and 4. Oh, no, he's not. The 54 gets around Nick Don Francesco, and he's going to win stage 2. Kevin Tattersall capitalizes on Nick Don Francesco finding the outside wall coming out of 4, and there was also a wreck much deeper in the field between Bradley Gilliland and a few others, I believe. And what a wild end to stage 2. We're going to throw it down to the M-Race reporter Kevin Tattersall to get the top 5.
Myself, K-Fatty, JCR Clash, and Bubba, Hollywood, Mucka, and Flash Knight.
How about Trey Hollywood getting 3rd at the end of stage 2 there? 3 valuable points, first of all, but more importantly, that's good track position for the 8 car for the beginning of the final stage. Could it be his day where he finds victory lane in the NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series for the first time? Yeah, let's throw it down to the M-Race reporter, Nick Don Francesco. Nick, you had the lead, and then coming out of 4, it just looked like it all went up in smoke for you. What happened, brother? Did it just get tight on you? Oh, man. I know that feeling. I've had that happen to me before, and that's a shame. It's a heartbreaker. You had the stage well in hand, it looked like, and hopefully you can regroup and get your car back out there. We know you got a quick car. We'll have to see how the final stage goes, folks. These drivers, who's going to pit? What are they going to do? Some of them were just on pit road. Do you stay out or do you take 2? What do you do here? There is so many different possibilities, and we might have a completely different looking running order when we go green. And we sort of do. Trey Hollywood and Nick Don Francesco are going to lead them to the line. Dave Marks Jr. in the 51 is in 3rd. Flashing up to 4th. Alex Tesdall is in 5th. Kevin Tattersall restarting in 6th. The green flag is back in the air. Final stage time for the 4th annual Brickyard 200, hosted right here on NASCAR Heat 5. Around goes Daniel McGriff in the 93. I believe that he hit the apron, and Cameron Norton in the 1 had nowhere to go. We're still green. Dave Marks Jr. also lost control over there. Daniel McGriff is getting going again. That's a heartbreaker for him. I do believe that he got the left sides onto the grass, and that's how he lost control. Also, we can update you. Bradley Gilliland is off the track. It appears he's done for the day. Back up to the front. Clashin has taken the lead. Field still working down the front straightaway now. I was going to say working on figuring out who's going to lead this race. They're all right there. Nobody has gapped anybody quite yet. They're all in a long line here. Clashin is the leader in the 07. Trey Hollywood in the 8 car runs in second. Kevin Crowder's all third. Nick in the 6 car runs in fourth. Jesse Carlson in the 20 is all the way up into fifth. On the back straightaway now, 3 different lines being used, 4 really. And Clashin doing everything he can to break the draft, with the drivers running behind him. The 07 car looking for his first win in the NASCAR MotorMaster Series. Oh, Jesse Carlson found the wall coming out of turn 3 just a little bit. He's going to lose a couple of positions because of that. And it's anyone's race still at this point. How many laps to go, Kevin, when you hit the line?
16.
All right, you heard it from the Iceman, folks. 3 wins this season for Kevin Tattersall, driver of the 54 Toyota Supra. He runs in second. He's trying desperately to run down Clashin in that 07 Chevy Camaro for the lead. He would love to win the Brickyard 200. He's won it before. Last year's Brickyard 200 winner, driving the number 2 Chevy Camaro. Here he is, trying to run down Clashin. And we know these drivers are getting anywhere from 17 to 19 laps on fuel, and I know they restarted with over 18 laps left, so it's going to be interesting to see if everybody can make it to the end on the fuel and the tires that they have if we stay green for this entire run. Unless the in-race reporters know something I don't, but they don't need to share that information. We are live. Oh, there you go. And we very well might see one. Everyone is very spread out at this point. We're working down the back straightaway now. Clashin leads still. Kevin right there behind him just by a couple of car lengths. Nick in the 6 car right there close in tow. I was saying just a little bit ago that nobody has really gapped anybody and everyone was all in a long line. Long snake of cars, really. But it's now a 3-car race up here for the lead. Jason Doro running in 4th position in the 08 car. Running in 5th behind him is Jordan Dorosek in the 74, trying desperately to get back all that track position he lost from everybody gambling with different strategies for the beginning of the final stage. Here's the battle for 5th. Dustin Franklin in the 11 trying to work his way around the 08 of Jason Doro. Jason just got passed by Jordan Dorosek in the 74. Jordan, one of the more quicker cars of the race, running up there in the top 3 for most of this one and trying to set his sights on the top 3. Cleared the traffic from 5th on back, and Matt Smith in the 10 trying to do the same thing. Did a pack there with his teammate Dustin Franklin and Trey Hollywood in the 8 car right there with them. There's a car coming to pit road. Looks like it's one of our in-race reporters. It's the 6 of Nick Don Francesco. You heard a moment ago he could not make it the distance on fuel, and he's going to come to pit road and surrender 3rd place. He hopes for a yellow at this point, and we'll see what the future holds for the Brickyard 200. 4th annual, folks. First one was held back on NASCAR Heat 2, won by Timmy Brown, who's in this race, driving the number 9 car, and had worked his way all the way up inside the top 10 in Stage 2. And there you see him with Jeffrey Robinson Jr. right behind him in the 61 car. And this is inside the top 10 still. In fact, I just counted the cars. Timmy is running in the 10th position. Just in front of him, Jesse Carlson in the 20 runs in 9th. Just behind him, Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 61 running in 11th. Jordan Roughton in the 18 runs in 12th. Josh Cole Diaz in the 7th, running in 13th. Harold Burden in 14th. Just to update you on where some of your favorite drivers are running. Here in the 4th annual Brickyard 200. 23 drivers started the event. And we're working the final stage. Under 15 laps to go until we decide a winner. Until we crown a winner for the 4th time. And checking in on your race leaders again, and we have a lead change. We missed it, but it's Kevin Tattersall in the number 54 Toyota Supra leading the way. Young white car looking strong here. Now working down the front straightaway. Some lap cars up ahead. He's going to catch them perhaps before the end of the race. Could even be the 6th car of Nick Francesco, therefore he might have the tire advantage, and therefore might not catch the car in front of him. More worried about the cars behind him, I'm sure. Flashing right behind him in 2nd. Jordan Dorsek is in 3rd. Jason Doro in the 08 runs in 4th. Matt Smith in 5th. And Dustin Franklin in the 11th. Running in 6th, and it has become a 6-car battle for the lead and for the win. Here in the Brickyard 200. To the bottom. When Jason Doro, and he's looking for 2nd place from flashing in the 07. He's going to take it, but he's now being challenged by Matt Smith in the 10. He looked to the inside through 3 and 4. Couldn't quite get the car to stick. Coming down the front straightaway. Single file once again. And I believe we saw a moment ago, yeah, Trey Hollywood surrendering the 7th position. Coming to pit road in the 8 car. Hoping to use those fresh 4 Goodyear Eagles sooner and maybe leapfrog some of these drivers, or also just shrink the gap and be in the draft at the end of the cycle of pit stops. We'll have to see how it all goes. To the inside goes Jason Doro, the driver of the 08 Chevy Camaro. 2 wins this season, 4th in the championship standings. Excuse me, 2nd rather, comes into tonight's 2nd in the point standings. It's been a little while since Jason has found victory lane, so we knew that he was coming into tonight hungry for a win. And what better place to do it than the 4th annual NASCAR Brickyard 200 here in the NASCAR MotorMaster Series. He leads with the 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion right behind him in 2nd. And I believe that there's 11 laps to go. We'll let the in-race reporters, 9 laps to go. Thank you. I was going to say we'll let you guys run this out, but we have 9 laps to go. I don't know if you saw it on your frames at home or not, but yeah, there you see the pink and the purple and orange car rather of Trey Hollywood. He was up there in 7th just a moment ago, but that just goes to show what a green flag pit stop will do to you. You'll lose almost a full lap. Nick Francesco in the 6th is a little bit in front of this lead pack as well, but he pit when he was up there in the 3rd position rather than 7th and not being quite up in the lead pack like Trey Hollywood did. And this just kind of goes to show everyone at home what a green flag pit stop does in terms of intervals and where it spits you back out on the racetrack on the leaderboard. New race leader with the power move to the inside.
Caution is coming.
Oh, and this changes everything. Thank you to the 2 in-race reporters. I didn't see what happened out there at all, and we have a caution on the racetrack. And this is all with 8 laps to go when this happens, so this really does change everything. There's a lot of front-end damage to the 61 Toyota of Jeffrey Robinson Jr. I wonder if maybe he was involved in something. I'm not too sure. What this really does do, though, is puts Timmy Brown in the 9 car back in, right in touch there with the lead group, and he's running in 10th at this time.
That stinks. I actually had enough fuel to make it to the end. I was sitting there riding in dirt, using draft. I had enough fuel to go all the distance.
That is a shame because I'm not sure if everybody else did. We know Nick Francesco didn't. He had to come to pit road and kind of just surrendered that. And so this is, he didn't know if a caution was going to come out though and how far he could run it. But yeah, here we go, folks. 5 laps to go in the 4th annual Brickyard 200. At Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the green flag is back in the air. Trey Hollywood restarts as the race leader. Josh Colombier is in the 7, starts in 2nd. Yep. There was a big wreck deep in the field involving Cameron Norton in the 1. Alex Tesdall in the 16, I believe, was involved as well, and there is a caution on the racetrack, and this is huge. We're going to restart with, I believe, with only 2 laps to go in the Brickyard 200. Now, I didn't see what happened, but yeah, a ton of damage to the front end of Cameron Norton. He took the hardest hit in that incident, right up into the outside wall nose first. Well, this is interesting. Trey Hollywood has the lead. I believe Matt Smith is going to restart in second, but the outside line is not necessarily the preferred groove. But then again, it's Matt Smith, the 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion. He might still have a shot from the outside line. We're going to restart with 2 laps to go. I don't believe that it is a first attempt at a green-white checkered, so we still have 3 of those. And the green flag is back in the air, 2 to go in the 4th annual NOSSCAR Brickyard 200. The outside line prevailing for Matt Smith. I can't believe it. The 10 car takes the lead coming out of turn 2. He's going to have it. Trey Hollywood's in second in the 8 car. Does he have enough time to get there? And there you see Matt's trying to break the draft down the back straightaway. A lap and a half to go. Matt Smith came in as the points leader, looking for his 4th win of the season. Trey Hollywood in the 8 car entered the season late, looking for his first career NASCAR MotorMaster Series win. And they're coming down the front straightaway now to take the white flag. There's a big wreck coming out of 4. And we're going to restart, aren't we? Wow. The caution came out when Matt Smith was maybe, I don't know, 50 feet, 30 feet away from the start-finish line. And we're going to rack him again. Double file, 2 laps to go. And this will be the very first attempt at a green-white checkered. It's only the 2nd green-white checker that NASCAR has seen in recent memory. Definitely in 2021 seasons, that's for sure. Only the 2nd one. So this is exciting stuff, folks. 2 different drivers with 2 different backgrounds, 2 different schedules, part-time and full-time. One a former NASCAR champion, one still trying to capture his first championship. Matt Smith will be on the inside. Trey Hollywood will be on the outside. Clashin will be on the inside of row 2. Kevin Tattersall will restart at 4th. Justin Franklin, Harold Burden, Jason Doro, Nick Don Francesco. The green flag is back in the air. That's your top 8. Who's going to win the 4th annual NASCAR Brickyard 400? Or 200. Got through 1 safely. Getting through 2 now. Oh, Trey got really loose coming out of turn 2, and that really stacked up the field behind Matt Smith in the 10. That's exactly what he wanted to see. Oh, up the hill went Trey Hollywood in the 8, and around he goes. He's up in the air, and this might cause another caution. He's up against the outside wall. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. was involved. The 18 of Jordan Roughton got a piece of it. And yes, folks, we are under caution. We're going to have a 2nd attempt at a green-white checkered. This is crazy. I'm glad I'm not out there. And I can only imagine the stress that this is causing for the 10 car and for the 10 team. Matt Smith, he's the leader, and he's just trying to get these 2 laps over with. And he's got a group of hungry drivers right behind him trying to make history just like he is. Checking in on where Timmy Brown is. 2018 winner. He was involved in that incident, unfortunately, and he's going to have a lot of cars to pass on this restart. Hopefully he can somehow manage to do it. The 2020 Brickyard 200 winner, Kevin Tattersall in the 54. Keep your eye on him, the red and white car. He's restarting in 3rd. Nobody has won this event twice. Timmy Brown in the 9, Kevin Tattersall in the 54 trying to do it. The green flag is back in the air. Matt Smith and Clashin lead them to turn 1. 2 laps to go. Oh, around went Dustin Franklin in the 11, just in front of a bunch of cars. This might actually cause another. We might be here all night, folks. The caution is out again, and the third green-white checkered is upon us. I did not see what happened to Dustin Franklin, and that's a shame for him too, because he's been up there in the top 10, the top 5 for the entire race. He even got stage points in the stage 1 event there, so he's got a ton of damage to the back of that Chevy Camaro. He's going to need to come to pit road, spend time on pit road to prepare the car. He's not going to have the track position that he wants for this restart. Oh, this is getting wild. I don't know if my voice is going to hold. Jason Doro is now close to the front in track position. So is Harold Burton, Josh Colin-Diaz, and Jason Armstrong in the 12 car is now up in the top 8, I believe. That's the highest he's been running all race long. Getting an update from Dustin Franklin, driver of the 11, letting us know that he clipped the apron, and that's exactly what I thought I saw. The green flag is back in the air. Let's see if we can get to the finish. 2 laps to go in the 4th annual NASCAR Brickyard 200. Or is it? Dave in the 51 went up the hill a little bit deeper in the field. He found the wall. Everybody got through clean so far, and there's still a couple of cars deeper in the field bouncing off each other. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. is around in the 61. Jordan Roughton in the 18 had a little bit to do with that. Going into turn 3, Matt Smith is trying to hold on. Up at the front of the field, they seem to be clean and racing for this win. Coming out of 4, they're going to see the white flag. And Matt Smith would love to see the checkered flag after this. Deep in the field, Timmy Brown in the 9 car. Heavy contact with the inside wall. I believe the leaders have taken the white flag, though. They have, and we're green. The 07 is trying to stay with Matt Smith. It has become a 2-car race here for the win for the Brickyard 200. It's Jason Doro side by side with Jordan Dorosek for 3rd and 4th. Matt Smith trying desperately to break the draft with the 07. Less than a half a lap to go. And I do believe that if the yellow were to come out now, it's over. Through turn 4 for the final time here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He's never won the Brickyard 200. Matt Smith making history. He made a lot of history last year in the Platinum Cup Series. He wins the 4th annual Brickyard 200 on NASCAR Heat 5. Fourth win of the season for him. Came in as the points leader, further extends that. Clashin's going to finish in 2nd. I believe that Jordan Dorosek prevailed for 3rd. Kevin Tattersall in 4th. Josh Colin-Diaz in the 7 car, I believe, rounds out the top 5. And 23 drivers started this race. And wow, what an exciting finish that it was. So many drivers had a shot to win this one. We knew the draft was going to be critical. We knew the track position was going to be a major factor as well, especially at the beginning of the final stage and throughout. And at the end of it all, Ralph Motorsports celebrating another win with their driver, Matt Smith, in that number 10 car. Great run for that entire team. Dustin Franklin in the 11 car, driver for the team as well. He came close to getting his first win here tonight. Going to see if we can get interviews here with your top 3 finishers. Throwing it down to the in-race reporter, Kevin Tattersall. Kevin, whenever you do get a moment, if you could be so kind to invite the top 3 in here, that would be phenomenal.
Roger that. I mean, Clashin and JWoww are already invited. They were in there after last race.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Fast lap went to Flash and I, then JWoww, and then Taddy.
Huh. Well, we'll start with Kevin Tattersall in the 54. I believe you finished in 4th, correct?
5th. I think Mucka got me at the line.
Ah, okay, excellent. Well, another top 5, another strong run for you, and it was another wild one. A lot of we saw a lot of restarts there, green-white checkers, and we've only seen 2 green-white checkers in 2021 seasons so far on NASCAR Heat 5. And it was kind of unexpected, all those wild restarts. What was going through your mind? What was the strategy for you to hold on to the track position that you had while trying to get the lead as well?
I mean, if you weren't at the bottom on those restarts, you were kind of screwed. And with how the caution was coming out before we could ever even get to the exit of turn two, there was one caution restarted second, I restarted third. I'd gotten to the inside of him, and then a caution had come out, unfortunately. So he knew that had happened. So the next one, he kind of short shifted. He made sure that he closed the gap between me and Flash. He filled that spot. So once he did that, I lifted and made sure that there was I didn't want to wreck him, at that scenario. And then Mutka got underneath me and just ended up on the outside. And unfortunately, I lost a few positions.
You ran solid at Pocono. You ran solid here at Indy, and both tracks are very similar to each other. What is it about these style of tracks that really suits you as a driver?
Actually, I hate Pocono. Indianapolis is pretty fun. Pocono is absolutely horrible. I've never really done too well there. Coming out with a fifth, that was just track position on the last restart. But here at Indy, I'm a little upset. I thought I had a top three car, and then when the race was over, the speed said so. Ended up as one of the top three speeds. But definitely kudos to Flash 9, the two JCR guys. Congrats to those guys, and Mucka beating me out. Great run by everybody, really.
Well, congrats to you as well. Top 5 here in the Brickyard 200.
Thanks, man.
And moving forward, we have Jordan Dorsack, driver of the number 74 Chevy Camaro. Ran a solid race all race long. You were in the thick of things there at the very end. A shot to win this one. You won the race earlier tonight at Pocono. You didn't quite get it here for the Brickyard 200. What was going through your mind there for all those wild 2-lap restarts at the end? And what was your strategy to try to get up there and challenge for the win?
Oh, yeah, we had a very fast car for today's race. We had a few mishaps in the end of the race. We ended up getting some damage with about 5 to go, and worked our way from about 14th each caution. We kept getting closer and closer, but on that last caution, we ended up getting our way up back to third place. Just wish we had a chance to have a run at the win for there with the Flash and clashing. It would have been pretty good.
Yeah, I was about to mention that seemed to be about, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 cars, maybe even 6 that were clearly the class of the field and were able to drive away more times than not. And those same 5, 6 cars, if they got mired in traffic, they were able to slowly work their way forward again. But if they did have to do that, the leaders were already long gone by the time they got there. What was the biggest challenge for you out there? And is there anything you could have maybe done differently to get the win?
The biggest challenge at every racetrack is the draft. Not really a big fan of draft on this game, but you just got to deal with it and go on. It's whatever. I'm just looking forward for the playoffs already.
Oh, I bet you are. 5 wins this season. You're on a roll. Congratulations, rather, on a 3rd place finish in the Brickyard 200.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
And his buddy is with us here, Clashin, driver of the 07 Chevy Camaro. A solid run for him tonight, and he had a wild battle there on the 3rd and last green and white checkered with Matt Smith in the 10 car for the win here in the 4th annual NOSSCAR Brickyard 200. Were you feeling the pressure out there? Did you have anything for the 10 car if you had more laps left?
Using the draft, I probably had something for him, but my car was just too tight. I gave it my shot going into 1. I tried to fake low, go back high, and hope he would overshoot at the corner, but my car just wouldn't turn.
You seem to bring a competitive car everywhere you go. You seem to have a shot at the win every time we see you in these NASCAR MotorMaster series. What were you doing to prepare for the Brickyard 200, and what was it like in those last 2 or 3 restarts when everyone was racing as hard as they could for this win? It's a big race for a lot of these drivers.
Preparation, I don't really do much, but the late race restarts, I kind of enjoy it. I mean, it's a big pack. Everyone's going for spots. It's really racy. It's way better than to ride around by yourself for 20 laps.
It was very rare, but we did see some drivers make the outside line work for some passes out there, and you were one of them. What was it about your car that was able to stick up there and complete those passes? I myself, as a driver, struggle completing passes on the outside at the Indy.
To get the outside to work here, you got to pin that guy on the apron. You got to hope he can hold his line, and that as long as you can stay even with him coming down the exit, you'll get this straightaway speed, and you most likely will clear him.
Good stuff and good tips from Clashing in the 07 Chevy Camaro. And just wanted to say congratulations on your runner-up finish here in the Brickyard 200, and happy that you're riding along with us here for MotorMaster Mondays. It's a thrill to watch you out there every week.
Yeah, thank you.
And how was Clashing? JCR boy right there. They're all fast. We know that. Moving forward to Victory Lane, we have a familiar face, and it is the points leader, further extending that points lead. He's making history, folks. He's never won this event before. He's won crown jewels in the NASCAR Platinum Cup Series. Now he's got one here in the NASCAR MotorMaster Series. Give it up for Matt Smith, driver of the number 10 Chevy Camaro for Bruv Motorsports, parking it in Victory Lane. He is the 4th annual NASCAR Brickyard 200 winner. You had a strong car all race long. It, like I said to Clashing and to Jordan, seemed like there was 5 or 6 cars that were clearly the class of the field. You were one of those cars. You led a lot of laps in this one. Did you have a specific strategy coming into this race? Did you have a certain goal you wanted to meet and a certain way you wanted to look out there in terms of speed?
I was really just trying to think of the slider that would work the best, and air pressure adjustments that I could make to make it work. I was really just trying to be in the throttle and have it loose enough that you can, really drive through those corners, but find the right adjustments to keep it just snug enough to where you didn't have to worry about being loose around other cars. I know at Pocono and Indy, they have a lot of similarities in that aspect with these tight corners, so just trying to be clean, smoked the wall a couple times out front, so I learned not to do that later in the race, but knowing that JWoww and Clashing are always going to be around, and Taddy was really strong as well, I was just trying to hold the best line. I think it was more to my advantage coming from behind them before we got the green-white checkers. I was restarting like 9th or 10th with started that last stage there, so I think coming from behind helped me with the momentum to try to get to the lead at the right time, and then the cautions just kind of took the laps down the rest of the way.
Yeah, I was going to mention, if you're going to make mistakes, it's better to make them early so you have time to rally back, and you did just that. You got mired back in mid-pack territory, which is still where there's a lot of fast, talented drivers, so it's not easy to work your way forward. And then, as you mentioned, in those final handful of green-white checkered restarts, you worked your way forward somehow and came out of nowhere to battle with drivers like Kevin Tattersall and Clashing, Jordan Dorsek for this win. Take us through how you were able to do that, and maybe give some tips to other drivers out there watching the broadcast.
Well, I know there's a lot of great drivers that are on this game that they can, have people knocking their bumper off and they can still lead and not make a mistake, like some of the guys in the Pro League that we've seen. They just don't get rattled, and I feel like I have to be on a really good day not to have, nerves when I know I have good drivers right on my butt. But usually coming from behind, I can remain calm. I know what I'm doing, and it's just a comfort. I don't need to be out front, lead every lap. I don't put that pressure on myself. Just trying to make sure I'm in position at the end of the race, and we're talking a little bit about if it went green, some people would have to save fuel, and I was, not close, but I was on the edge, but I knew I could make it from where I was at, so I was pushing towards the front, and I was in a position where I was riding behind the 11 car, which is my teammate, so I was helping him out. We were just, chilling for about 3-4 laps, and then some guys, they would overdrive the turn or clip the apron, and I had to take the run where I could because the draft is so strong and couldn't risk losing any more track position. But we had a great finish. Cautions made a little bit nervous. I wanted to get to that white flag about 3 different times before we finally hit it, but had enough fuel, kept out front, and was just focused on staying in front of whoever was in second. And luckily, you know, I think third on back, I don't know what happened. I know there's a large gap behind Clash, and just made it easy trying to stay in front of one car rather than 5 cars going through right behind me. So awesome to win this at this track. It's never in my top 5, but somehow I've got a couple big league wins here, so I'm stoked. You know, it's good to get a win. I finished second, you know, every 500 times, and then I come around and it seems like I managed to win one every once in a while. So feeling good and can't wait for next week.
I bet you can't, man. You made a lot of history and you set a lot of records last year in the 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series, and here you did it again. Another historical moment for you. You are the 2021 NASCAR Brickyard 200 winner here in the MotorMaster Series. Congratulations, buddy.
All right, thank you so much. You know, shout out for you for doing the broadcast. We had a couple good races tonight, and we'll go on next week, try to get a couple more wins.
I'm excited about it, and it was a thrill to watch you out there. Congratulations.
All right, thank you again.
And that was the man himself, Matt Smith, driver of the 10 for Bruv Motorsports, picking up the win here in the 4th annual NASCAR Brickyard 200. One of the true best here on the NASCAR Heat 5 game, and he battled with some of the other true best here on the game as well. Kevin Tattersall, Jordan Dorsek, Clashin, Nick Don Francesco, Josh Colm-Diaz, the list goes on. They were there, and it was exciting. 4th annual NASCAR Brickyard 200s in the history books started on NASCAR Heat 2 back when Timmy Brown picked up the win that night. We moved on to NASCAR Heat 3 where we saw Nathan Scott parking in victory lane. And then just last year on Heat 4, Kevin Tattersall parked the number 2 Chevy Camaro, the RCR car in victory lane, winning the Brickyard 200. This year, folks, the 4th annual NASCAR Brickyard 200 belongs to Bruv Motorsports number 10, Matt Smith. From all of us here at NASCAR, we hope everybody enjoyed the broadcast tonight. We brought you the Go Green 225 at Pocono, and we brought you the flag-to-flag coverage of the Brickyard 200. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Hope you enjoyed MotorMaster Monday. We hope everybody out there is staying safe and healthy. And we will see you next Monday. Good night, everybody.